The frozen crucible. How ice forged the human spirit. Picture this. It's 100,000 years ago, and your ancestors are huddled around a flickering fire in what would one day become France. Outside their cave, temperatures have plummeted to a bone-chilling 40 F. Massive ice sheets stretch for thousands of miles in every direction, and woolly mammoths lumber through landscapes that look more like another planet than the Earth we know today. These aren't the conditions you'd expect to forge the greatest success story in evolutionary history. Yet this frozen hell became humanity's greatest classroom. Throughout history, icy landscapes have tested the limits of human endurance, shaping the very core of our resilience. Recent research reveals that, during the last ice age, ancient humans did not simply retreat to warmer climates. They persevered across Europe, adopting survival strategies akin to wolves and bears. Today, Arctic indigenous communities continue this legacy, leading ecological restoration efforts and demonstrating remarkable adaptability amid climate change. Studies of modern Arctic expeditions further highlight teamwork, physical health, and cohesion as essential to thriving in extreme cold. The Ice Age didn't just happen to our ancestors. It happened through them, reshaping their bodies, rewiring their brains, and fundamentally altering the trajectory of human evolution in ways so profound that we're still discovering their implications today. What you're about to discover will change how you think about human nature itself. When Earth became an ice prison. The Pleistocene epoch, spanning roughly 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago, wasn't just cold. It was a series of devastating climate catastrophes that should have driven our species to extinction. During the peak of the last glacial maximum around 20,000 years ago, ice sheets over 2 miles thick covered vast portions of North America and Europe. Sea levels dropped by 400 feet. The Sahara became even more arid, while other regions transformed into frozen wastelands where nothing should have survived. But here's where the story gets fascinating. Instead of cowering in the face of this climatic apocalypse, our ancestors did something unprecedented in the animal kingdom. They didn't just adapt, they innovated. Archaeological evidence from sites across Europe and Africa reveals that during the harshest periods of the Ice Age, human technological advancement actually accelerated. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, researchers have uncovered 70,000-year-old artifacts that demonstrate sophisticated symbolic thinking. Intricately carved ochre pieces, carefully crafted bone tools, and evidence of organized pigment processing. These weren't the desperate scramblings of a dying species. They were the masterworks of minds being forged by necessity into something entirely new. The brain, that ice built. The human brain that emerged from the Ice Age was fundamentally different from what came before. Neurological evidence suggests that the extreme environmental pressures created an evolutionary arms race that favored individuals with enhanced cognitive flexibility, improved working memory, and sophisticated problem-solving abilities. Consider the Neanderthals, our closest evolutionary cousins, who thrived during the Ice Age's most brutal periods. Recent DNA analysis has revealed that modern humans carry 2 to 4% Neanderthal genetic material, but it's not randomly distributed. The genes we retained are concentrated in areas affecting immune system function, skin and hair characteristics, and remarkably, brain development. The Ice Age literally wrote survival instructions into our DNA. But the most stunning revelation comes from studying how our ancestors' brains physically changed during this period. Cranial capacity increased dramatically, but more importantly, the organization of neural networks became increasingly sophisticated. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning, abstract thinking, and social cognition, underwent rapid development. Archaeological evidence supports this neural evolution. During the Ice Age, we see the first appearance of complex art, music, elaborate burial rituals, and sophisticated hunting strategies requiring unprecedented levels of cooperation and forward planning. The social revolution, hidden in ice. Here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The Ice Age didn't just create smarter humans, it created more cooperative humans. And this transformation may be the most important evolutionary development in our species' history. Surviving Ice Age winters required something no other species had mastered: large-scale, long-term cooperation between genetically unrelated individuals. Archaeological sites from this period reveal evidence of trade networks spanning thousands of miles, shared technological innovations, and coordinated hunting efforts involving dozens of people working in perfect synchronization. The famous cave paintings at Lascaux and Chauvet, created during the height of the last Ice Age, weren't just art, they were information storage systems. These elaborate underground galleries served as knowledge repositories where crucial survival information about animal behavior, seasonal patterns, and hunting techniques could be preserved and transmitted across generations. They represent humanity's first libraries, born from the desperate need to share life-saving knowledge in a world that showed no mercy for ignorance. Bodies forged by frozen fire. The Ice Age reshaped human physiology in ways that still define us today. Our ancestors developed remarkable adaptations that allowed them to not just survive, but thrive in conditions that would kill modern humans within hours. Genetic analysis reveals rapid evolution in genes controlling metabolism, allowing Ice Age humans to extract maximum energy from limited food sources. They developed enhanced abilities to metabolize animal fats and proteins, adaptations that explain why certain populations today have different dietary tolerances and disease susceptibilities. Perhaps most remarkably, Ice Age humans developed enhanced cognitive physical integration. Archaeological evidence from mammoth hunting sites shows that these ancient hunters could track, coordinate, and execute complex multi-day hunts requiring split-second timing and perfect communication. They weren't just surviving. They were becoming apex predators, capable of taking down animals weighing several tons, using nothing but stone tools and raw intelligence. The plot twist that changed everything. But here's the twist that makes this story truly extraordinary. Just as our ancestors had perfectly adapted to their frozen world, it all disappeared. Around 11,700 years ago, the ice began retreating at a pace that was geologically instantaneous. Within a few thousand years, the world that had shaped human evolution for hundreds of millennia was gone. Most species would have been devastated by such rapid environmental change. Instead, humans exploded across the globe with unprecedented success. Why? Because the Ice Age had created something unprecedented. A species with such cognitive flexibility and adaptive capacity that we could thrive in virtually any environment on Earth. The same mental abilities that allowed our ancestors to track mammoth migration patterns across frozen steppes now enabled their descendants to develop agriculture, build cities, and create complex civilizations. The cooperative instincts forged by the necessity of surviving brutal winters became the foundation for societies of millions of people working together toward common goals. The Ice Age echo in modern humanity. The most mind-bending realization is that we are still, fundamentally, Ice Age humans. The anxieties that keep you awake at night, your drive to stockpile resources, your deep need for social connection, your ability to find creative solutions under pressure. These aren't bugs in the human system. They're features, carefully crafted by 100,000 years of evolutionary pressure. Modern neuroscience reveals that our brains still operate on Ice Age software. The same neural networks that helped our ancestors predict weather patterns and coordinate mammoth hunts now drive our ability to navigate complex social relationships and solve abstract problems. The stress response that once kept humans alive during blizzards now helps us meet deadlines and handle crises. Even our capacity for hope, perhaps humanity's most defining characteristic, was forged in the Ice Age. Archaeological evidence shows that even during the worst climatic conditions, our ancestors continued creating art, caring for disabled community members, and investing in long-term projects they might not live to complete. They literally invented optimism as a survival strategy. The ultimate plot twist. The Ice Age didn't just shape human evolution. It may have been the catalyst that created the modern world. Every technology you use, every social institution you participate in, every work of art that moves you, traces its conceptual DNA back to innovations first developed by humans struggling to survive in a world of ice. Climate change didn't destroy our ancestors. It made us who we are. And as we face new environmental challenges today, perhaps the most important lesson from the Ice Age isn't about survival, it's about transformation. Our ancestors didn't just endure the ice, they used it to become something unprecedented in the history of life on Earth, a species capable of reshaping not just ourselves, but the entire planet. The next time you accomplish something that seems impossible, remember, you're not just succeeding despite the odds. You're channeling the accumulated wisdom of 100,000 years of ancestors who looked directly into the face of extinction and said, "Not today." That's not just history, that's your birthright.